the contract talk started almost 3 years ago, and it was just last summer that we kind of finalized everything. I was actually driving home from Mulhall's on Maple Street, heading back to the golf course in a conference call there, and that's kind of where everything was, all right, we're going to do this. We were on the phone with the tour and course ownership and myself, and so I was on Maple heading back here. Since then, it's kind of been, as soon as we signed the contract, it was on. Preparation started. So in the last year, renovation work started pretty quickly after that, and we restaffed a little bit, figured out a way to bring on more people, try and remain in my same payroll budget number range, but bring more people on, which was an interesting endeavor to try and figure out. So that kind of took over, our winter work, or took some time over the winter. And then this spring, it's pretty much we've been in tournament mode to some extent since growing season started. The guys have been on their greens. The guys that are managing the greens for us during tournament week have managed those greens from a moisture standpoint since the growing season started. And it's been, all we really did was kind of ramp up the last 2 or 3 weeks. We didn't really deviate from what we had been doing all season. We just kind of ramped it up. I think it's the hours that go into taking the course from like an everyday condition to a tournament condition. What I foresee after this event is people are going to want tournament conditions the entire time. It's really not feasible. We're going to provide a great product, but tournament products are a different animal. I did payroll earlier this week, and my full-time guys, they're averaging 100 hours a week for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe even longer than that, and that's not feasible financially, nor is it feasible from a personnel management standpoint. You just can't work guys that much. Hauling hoses, hand raking bunkers, hand watering greens as often as we have been, it just is not feasible. Especially as we get to the end of the year, we're only 3-4 weeks away from the high school and college staff returning back to school, and our staff gets cut by 30-40% at that point. So I guess bottom line is they don't understand the hours that go into preparing a tournament championship course. They've spent a lot of time on the property over the last 3 years, and their expectations were really just refine what we currently had. The product that they saw whenever they were out was close to what they wanted, and so we've worked with them on expectations for speeds and firmness and heights of cut and moisture content and moisture levels in the fairways. So they gave us some parameters, and then they kind of stepped back and let us find our way towards achieving those parameters or meeting those expectations. So they've really been great to work with. They trust us. They set some goals, and so far we've achieved them. I'm proud of the guys on the crew. The course is responding extremely well considering the weather. I mean, it's pretty unrelenting and unforgiving weather for turf grass, but it's even more unrelenting and unforgiving for the crew. So the course is performing well, and it's great to see the hard work that the guys have put in be rewarded. So everybody's tired, worn out. The golf course is it's tired and worn out, but it's battling through it. So that's really, I think, what I'm the most proud of, how it's handled the challenge of the weather.